if you're using, let's say, Grok 3 Mini, so it's like 16 rupees for the complete search. Yeah, so it's like 16 rupees per search. But if you're using a bigger model like Opus or O3 or something, so it can go to, I guess, 500 a search. Because yeah, that's true, because Opus is a really expensive model and it does burn a lot of money. That's why it's for pro users only. It's like if you're paying money, then only you get access to the model. So that means you are actually, so for me it's also a way to handle a lot of usage. So yeah, that is the only thing. And if you're using like different, like if you're using extreme search like deep research, so that goes to like that burns a lot of money. Actually, that goes like um for I don't know, I guess $8 almost for one extreme search. Yeah, because it's going through a lot of sources. But for now, if I truly speaking, with all those credits and everything, I'm not burning any money. So like, for if you're asking for basically running it yourself, then it might take this much amount of money to uh, I mean, run it for yourself. Like if you're trying to self host Scira and you are specifically planning to just keep extreme search, so then it's going to cost you a lot of money. Yeah. uh Mostly the models are expensive, not the searches. Because so for deep research I'm using Exa, so those folks are like keeping it pretty cheap, because it's using caged resources, and all the scraping that is happening is from caged content. Unless I have to do live crawl, and that is also optionally kept. They have added an option where you can, if there is a new amount of content that is available, maybe it was updated yesterday, so they will try to crawl it or scrape it. But if they are trying to block the content, if the website doesn't agree to scrape, so they will give you the caged content. So like they are trying to optimize the search for you. So like, it doesn't burn that much money. So if it was live crawling, always active, so it will burn a lot of money. But if you are just using whatever is caged in their in the search, it will just give you that content and it will save you a lot of money. So that is the only difference. Like if you're doing scraping or pushing anything that is going to do something live, then it might cost you money. But unless, other than that, I guess it won't cost any much. And there is also like code execution is also there. So like if you're there is like some data that can be shown as a chart, like a pie chart or line chart or something. So what it will do is it will collect all those context, and it will then show you the chart. And that is also, say, like I guess Daytona's code execution is a little expensive. I have also partnered with them. They have given me like 10,000 K credits. And so yeah, I guess if you are using like more CPU or something, because Scira does actually need a lot of compute, because it's a lot of heavy tasks happen in deep research. So like if I so I what I did was, before creating a snapshot, the thing I just said it to everyone, I used to push the configuration, like do like install Wi-Fi enhance. Like let's say I'm using stock chart tool, so it would first install Finance, then it will run the code, and all of that thing will happen. And so like the time to reach the actual point of the code execution used to take a lot of time. So like then they recently released snapshot, where you can make a pre-built snapshot where you will say you can use 2 GB RAM, 2 CPUs, and 4 GB volume or something. And then that gives you an idea that you don't have to run that config every time. And it will have pre-installed everything, like pip install, like if you need git or curl, or let's say Finance matplotlib and all that stuff, it will install it in the snapshot itself. And you just have to pass the image name. So I don't have to build the entire image again. It will just take that snapshot, run it inside it, and give you the result. So I used to burn a lot of money there because of that. So like I guess Perplexity also used to do that in their pro search. I guess it still does, right? It will do all these searches, and then if you ask it for a chart or something, to create a visualization, or something. So they used to use E2B. E2B is also a sandbox platform, but they what the only issue with them was that they used to have Docker installed in your local computer to create a snapshot, but Daytona doesn't require that. It will just do it remotely completely. So I was like, I shifted from E2B to Daytona for that same reason. But yeah, there are some ways you can save money with searches, like maybe use cheaper models which are faster or something, like from Grok, the one with the Q. So like maybe Qwen 3 is also a good model for agentic use. Qwen, I guess Qwen models are really good for agents because as far as I've seen, like if you need some reasoning agent with tool calling, it is better than DeepSeek also. It's way better because it's really good at instruction following. It's also cheap, so it won't burn your pocket that much. And I guess Grok even gives you some credits if you want to hack early. Like I guess they give like $100 something. So like you can get started easily with that. Like build a proof of concept or something. If it's good enough to be on their showcase, they might actually give you more credits. Yeah. So that is one way. Yeah.
So you mentioned that extremes are available in $20.
Hmm.
So which model is this? Because I'm assuming you are putting way more than just half a million tokens per day.
Yeah. So what it does is there is a entire workflow for deep research. So there is a planner agent which is Grok 3. So I'm using Grok models for the entire thing because putting other models would cost a lot of money because first off they don't have that much rate limits, and Grok is the only one that doesn't have a token based rate limit. So that's why I'm using Grok for it. So what happens is there is first a planner agent that will make a research plan, and with so it will be like 12 to 15 to dos for the search, and then it will send that to the next, which is the actual agent which is going to do the deep research, and it will run the entire deep research. It will show it to you on the UI that it's happening live, and then what I guess that's the only workflow, because once, yeah, the planning agent and the actual agent which is running the deep research. So like there are only two agents in deep research, but the second one, the actual orchestration one, has is connected to the tools which is web search with Exa and code runner which is Daytona. So like that's the only thing that is happening in the background. So if you see other agents out there, they are a little bit sophisticated. They will go like breadth and width and everything. I'm like, let's make a plan. So it will, based on the query, it will create a plan of what needs to be done. So like if you want to learn about, let's say, kinematics or something, like for your physics exam, so like it will, if you prompt it to give you solved questions or something like that, it will give you exact answers, even visualizations if you want them. And that is because the planner agent mentions that in the to dos, like you have to build a visualization that is in the plan. So like there is no way, I mean, now there is no current way to say that if that to do is actually done, but it's mentioned there. So like if the agent thinks that okay, this is enough to be completed in the next few steps, then it might run that part, like create a visualization or something like that. Other than that, I guess, yeah, that's the only difference with normal deep research agents and with extreme search.
Update
Huh?
update the visualization.
So Daytona has an option where they return artifacts, which has, so they have this custom built in their SDK. Like if you are using Matplotlib, so what they do is in the background from their backend, they give you the actual data from the charts. So you can use those things to map into your own UI components and create your own charts. Like ChatCN already has a chart component. You can just integrate, map the data to the charts, and it will just make it for you. Yeah, I guess they do all sorts of charts. Like they will do multiple charts as well. Like uh, they even do scatter plot if that is something you're looking for. And Scira supports it. Like even in an extreme search, you will get support for all sort of plot. Most used, I guess, is line chart mostly because people like, if you're a stock stock market like person. So mostly they will like line chart most. But yeah, pie charts and all that stuff is supported, and Daytona does it completely within the SDK.
What I think of re-ranking elements. So if I'm running HTTP service, I have to re-rank somewhere. Second, if you're using exam family, exam OS, and re-rank.
There is no infra for scraping or anything custom inside Scira. I'm using like Tavily and Exa. They have their own infrastructure behind the scenes where they do their own. They have their own ways to of doing scraping and re-ranking. So I guess you might have to look into them personally. But yeah, I guess Tavily does it better. The re-ranking thing. That's the only reason I have kept that thing default in the base web search. Like if you are doing that, if you go to Syra now and run a search, it's using Tavily. And for other searches like for YouTube or Reddit, it will use Exa because Exa has a good amount of sources to scrape from Reddit and YouTube. So yeah, that's the lead difference. I guess Exa has a. I used to have X search. It used to be in Syra as well, but they got sued or something. That was a really that's a different story altogether. But yeah, they used to do all those kind of scraping, but I guess they mostly do Selenium behind the scenes for the infrastructure. But I uh, I have no clue. I guess.
So you don't
Uh,
have any idea about re-ranking.
yeah, there is no actual custom scraper inside Syra because if I was going to do that, it would cost me a lot of money because that is a whole different set of skill set to have. And to host that own scraper and everything, it's like actually building your own Google, and it's really hard because if you have learned things from about Google that they have data centers everywhere, their content on the internet, just get that and tailor it for the users. So it's like more of a answer engine, but it also does search for you. So search and answer like that.
Like, can we do a demo? Like,
Yeah, sure, sure. After this question, huh?
how to launch an X and what are all the checklists?
What?
How to launch an X and what are all the checklists?
Launch on X. So first thing is, okay. So launching on X, that actually there is no plan to do a correct way to do it. Honestly, if you go on Twitter right now, there will be a lot of posts you won't expect to be like getting that much traction. Like people have just written two lines and they get a lot of traction, but that's not something you can you know uh, build your trust on for a launch. But what you can do is you can do two things correctly, which is what I have learned while launching with Syra. In your first main post, never mention a link because uh, even if Elon says he doesn't deboost links, he does. The X does deboost links, and it shouldn't be on the first main post. What you should do is you should actually use good emojis and actual list of what's actually happening in your app. Like if you're launching, let's say, Twitter search, if I were to say like Syra is launching X search, I would say that what kind of content am I supposed to show to the user. So first I will show a demo video. So the entire content up there is like the facts of what the feature is going to be, and then there is a last line saying demo video pointing to the demo. So if someone is viewing it on the like full screen, so they can just see that and they will see, okay, there is a link to a demo video, that okay, this is a demo video, so might as well see this demo and then read the content about it. So videos get more traction than images actually. So like if you post an image, but uh, like if you see designers posting on X, they what they do is they will create a really good design, and that is what gets the traction. But if you are a developer, you must have a habit to actually make demos because people like to see how they are going to use this thing, because you aren't saying anywhere that how are you supposed to use this. How am I supposed to select a model somewhere? If I have to, if there is a new model coming out from somewhere, you have to show them where is it located, right? So if they don't know how to go around your app, there is no point to launch. So that's the entire reason for a demo video. Like it will show, okay, you have to click here and then click here to get this configuration up, and then I can run this launch entirely. And then there are, like, now it's like, since it's AI era, M dashes no. It's like those weird dashes, long dashes. It's like people think that it's not written by you, it's written by ChatGPT or something, and they don't trust that launch then. So if you are writing something, just put it all lowercase, unless it's a name for some company, and tag all the you know, let's say if you're using Vercel for hosting, you should tag Vercel. If you're using AISD, you should tag them. So like, tag anything that you're using in your product. So that what happens is they are also trying to promote that launch. So they will also think, okay, this is a good marketing thing, for, and then they get a repost. And also how Scira also got traction, because if I guess you can go to my blog, and if you will see the first post I had made on Mini Perplex, it got liked from Chat CN and Vercel CEO, and that was the only reason they actually liked it, was because it got a retweet from I guess someone from the dev community. I don't remember who, but that's the only reason it got traction. And actually, because I had mentioned Chat CN and Vercel in it. So if we are using something or building something, and let's say the product you are using is actually on that platform, let's say in LinkedIn, if Vercel is there, you should tag them over there as well. In X, if Vercel's account is there, you should tag them over there. Like, if you are it makes your launch easier to understand, and make people understand, okay, he's using Vercel, and this is also something I use, so this is something we should promote. So that's the one way to build trust in a launch, and that is the way you can actually get a good launch. Like, a trusted product which you are using inside your product, it gives you more boost. That's it. Yeah.
What is your roadmap for Scira? Will it be primarily web app, or are you looking at WhatsApp integrations like you should
See, the fact with I will tell you this, that I have got a lot of requests for building a mobile app for Scira. But there are two things I won't be building it, because first off, to build for an iOS app, right? So the quality of building an iOS app is like a next level thing. I am not actually, that is a skill set issue. But honestly speaking, this is the era of web, like where you can get a web app as a PWA, progressive web app. So you can go to Safari or Chrome, and then just add it to your home screen. It will just work like an app. So you don't actually need an app. Or if you go to WhatsApp, the only so like, since you mentioned Push AI, what they're doing is they don't need to make a mobile app. They just need to make a bot, and they are just making infra in all of that. So it is not an interface. They already had an interface, which was WhatsApp. What Scira is, it's about Gen UI, generative UI. So like, if you are trying to since I said, like, agents are the next thing, if you go to Push now and try write something, it will just give a message with the answer, right? So like, there is no way you are saying that what is happening in the background. You are feeling like what is happening there. It's just typing something. What's it going to type? What's it doing in the background? We want to see it, because people tend to be curious about AI now. If they are not seeing what you're doing in the background, they will think that this thing seems to be fake. I guess you must have heard about this company who's recently was caught. I guess they were using, yeah. So they are using actually humans to write code and all that stuff. So there is no trust in it. You will feel like, okay, that I'm seeing this answer, but there is no way to confirm that if it happened in real time, right? So like, so that's the only goal with Serac. Like, if it should feel real time. With Gen UI, like, actual components and all the searches and everything happen right in front of the front of user. Like, even with reasoning models, the entire reason DeepSeek got its traction was because it was showing these thoughts of what it is thinking, right? That's the only reason it was getting so much traction. Like, you were feeling, okay, it's thinking this, maybe it's going to go in the right direction and get to the point which it is actually writing after the thinking process. So that is the one way you can build trust and actually show it in your interface. But I guess Pooch has a different objective, because I guess they are trying to solve the issue where answers are right in the one place where people use AI the most or talk about AI the most, right? So like for WhatsApp, it's like a community for them. Mostly in India, it's like a community. Like there are a lot of family groups and everything, and you just want everything to be in one place. For them, it's like a one-stop shop to get traction. But for Sarah, that's not the goal. So yeah.
And what about MCP integration?
Huh?
MCP integration.
MCP. So yeah, I had built a MCP client called Syra MCP chat. So the real reason I didn't build a MCP server, but I made a MCP client, was that everything that I'm using inside Syra is actually being used by other, like there are actual other products like Tivoli and everything. They also have MCP servers already. So it doesn't make any point that I should make a MCP server which is going to use these services again and then give you those searches, or those answers. It's like what can I say? It's like over engineering. Like if you are supposed to use that service, you can use that directly. But if you want someone to outsource it, like make a proxy to it, then it might have made sense. But that's I guess that's not the goal with Syra. If it was going to be an MCP server, but that's the entire reason I built a MCP client, because there is a less, I guess, practically like 3 4 web clients for MCPs out there right now. I guess ChatGPT does it, Claude does it, but I guess it's in desktop only. And yeah, I guess those are the only few ones, and most of them are local, right? So like you have to install the desktop app, and then that's the only way you can run it. Most of them only support like streamable HTTP or SSE, but they don't. So most of them will ask you to install it locally to use STDIO based servers. So what you can, that's the entire reason what I did with NCP chat is I am creating a sandbox where where it will install the server. So if you have packaged the MCP server for STDIO, it will install all of that in the background and then give you a link to that hosted URL. So there is this uh, package called super agent something. So what they are doing is they let you convert a SSE server to STDIO or STDIO to SSE. So that's the only thing with MCP chat, Syra MCP chat. What it does is, if you have a STDIO server, and if it's on npm or if it's on pypi, so what it will do is it will find that package, install it, and then it will make the MCP server out of it and give you the SSE URL. So that's the only thing with it. It will convert that server, STDIO server, MCP, to a SSE server, and then you can use it in MCP chat. So it will feel like, okay, you don't have to install it locally. It's on the web, and it feels natural, because you won't I mean, obviously people would want to save space on their desktops and don't want anything memory heavy, right? So that's the entire reason I built a client and not a MCP server, because MCP server would have been like, if I'm using other services and just connecting them to Syra, it would feel like pointless, because those services already have MCP servers. So you can use them directly, or I mean, obviously there is a demand. If there is a bigger demand, then I might make it. But then it will be like, if you, I guess, if you guys have seen Perplexity's MCP server, what it does is it will just give you the answers and sources. So because they already have that infra and they are using their own stuff. But that's not the case with Syra, because I'm using like Tavily and Exa, and they already have this way of giving answers also. Like they will, if you I guess they have an answer endpoint as well. Even